We welcome you to Japan for Game 2 of this best-of-3 quarter-final series in the 2024-25 B.LEAGUE Championship. San and NEOPHOENIX aiming to sweep the series and make their first-ever semi-finals. Their guests GUNMA Crane Thunders looking for a first-ever playoff win to force a decisive Game 3 tomorrow. Yes, we're back for a second straight evening's action here at the Hamamatsu Arena in Hamamatsu. A cracker of a Game 1 in this building yesterday, edged by the home team in front of their fans, 83-80 to take the lead in this series. Gets them within one win of the Final Four for the first ever time. The 8 teams in the quarterfinals have made it here via a 60-game regular season, after which 16 teams suffered elimination. The NEOPHOENIX qualifying as the second seed, winning the Central Division, meaning home court advantage in this series over the 7th seed Thunders. They're hoping their fans can give them the energy needed to set up a semi-final against 3rd seed Ryukyu Golden Kings, who've already progressed to the next round, winning both of their quarter-final games. Elsewhere, top seed Utsunomiya Brex won by 12 in their Game 1 against Mikawa. Game 2 coming straight after our game today. And the winners of that series will face the 5th seed Chiba Jets after they dominated on the road at 4th seed Alvok Tokyo, winning Game 1 by 25, and earlier today, Game 2 by 27. Take a look back at the action from Game 1 in this series. I talked yesterday about the clash of styles in this quarter-final tie. Well, Sanin, the best offensive team in the league by a distance, averaging 90.8 points per game through the regular season. GUNMA, the 3rd best defensive team, conceding just 71.6 points. In the end, we landed somewhere in the middle of those averages. The hosts winning at 83-80. And here in front of 4,349 spectators. It did start out as an offensive exhibition, a 29-25 first period, before it settled in the second, and then became more about defense and mentality in the second half. A 2013 third quarter, sending the NEOPHOENIX into the final period with a 9-20 with a blockbuster finish. I guess we're down 10 points with just 1 minute and 50 seconds to go. They finished on a 13-3 run and missed a 3-point attempt to force overtime right at the buzzer. GUNMA actually shooting the ball better from the field than their hosts in the first game at 52%, including 10 threes at 47%, but Sanin limited on the interior, both tuck and made more 3-point shots than twos, going 15 of 36 for 41% from downtown, as opposed to just 13 of 22 for 40% inside the arc. And they also won the possession count categories, committing 4 fewer turnovers, grabbing 5 extra offensive rebounds. More field goal attempts than their opponents in a game they ended up winning by just 1 shot. GUNMA will be kicking themselves at their inability to hit their foul shots. They shot it superbly from the field, but missed 11 free throw attempts in a 3-point defeat, going just 56% from the stripe. We'll see those numbers here. 68% from the line would have been enough to force overtime. 72% would have got them the win. Instead, they shot just 56% at the line, having shot 48% almost on the perimeter and 53% on the interior. See the lower shooting percentages for the hosts from the field. They weren't great at the line, but edged it there at 63%. But it was their offensive rebounding and their ability to protect the ball that got them the win. Atsushi Ono, the head coach of the hosts, Kyle Milling, the head coach of the guests. We'll see how they respond here in Game 2 this evening. It is must win for the Thunders as NEOPHOENIX look to close out the series at 2-0.
「出るだけじゃなくて勝ってほしいなっていうことがねすごくあるんで、今日は選手を力の限り応援したいなと思います。
いや本当ずっと去年から CS 行ってほしかったんで、すごいやっと行ってくれたっていう、本当良かったなっていう思いです。
去年はなんかここまで来てよかったなだったんですけど、今年はもう行ってくれるだろうっていう期待感を持って見てます。
もうすごいですよね、上がり具合が。大野さん来てから2連勝で、次も4連勝、そして6連勝でタイトルです。絶対勝つぞ We are Phoenix!
Lots of fans of both of the teams enjoying the action in Game 1 yesterday and indeed Game 2 today, as we see the home side's roster first. Yanti Mayton limited, he's one of their key players who will look to respond today. David Nwaba led the way with a 17-10 rebound double-double. David Dudzinski managed foul trouble to finish with 11 points, 5 rebounds, but inspirational was the point guard Ryusei Sasaki, who had 16 points, 8 assists, 6 rebounds, a block and 0 turnovers, as well as the best plus-minus of all players in the game. And for Gunma Crane Thunders, Yuma Fuji, the main man, game second best, 19 points, 4 of 8 from downtown. Michael Parker, the 43-year-old, played 24.5 minutes in Game 1, grabbed a team-high 8 rebounds, had a couple of steals as well. Trey Jones was fantastic in defeat, a game-high 23 points for Kyle Milling's team. Kyle Milling new to the bench this season, having last season in his 3rd year at Hiroshima led them to their first B.LEAGUE championship as the 7th seed, and they shocked the NEOPHOENIX, who were the 2nd seed last season as well, at this stage in the quarterfinals. He was hoping to repeat that feat, to sweeping that series on the road 2-0 last season with his former team. But here this season, NEOPHOENIX taking the lead in this series yesterday in another 2nd versus 7th seed matchup. First ever playoff game in the B.LEAGUE 1 for Gunma Crane Thunders. NEOPHOENIX returned to the postseason under Atsushi Ono last season when they won the Central Division. After 6 years away from the playoffs, they've won the Central Division again this season, after being shocked in that quarter-final as the higher seeded team against Hiroshima last season, also shocked in the quarter-final back in the first season of this competition. They're now looking to go to the semi-finals for the first time. Gunma Crane Thunders here looking to win a playoff game for the first time, having lost their playoff debut yesterday. See Fuji, and Parker and Jones, we've talked about all in that starting 5, as is Naoko Tsuji, who struggled to score yesterday but facilitated the ball really well and had one of the best plus-minuses on the team. Caleb Tarzuski had a tough time at centre despite 10 points. Johannes Thiemann was excellent off the bench, but his playing time limited by foul trouble. They need to keep him in the game for longer today. They love to put on a show here, especially in the postseason. The Hamamatsu Arena is rocking, ready for Game 2 of this B.LEAGUE quarterfinal playoff series. Look at some key players for this one. We've talked about Ryusei Sasaki, the league leader in assists this season, 6.5 a game, averaging 11.5 points as well. Yesterday, 16 points, 8 assists, 4 of 7 3-point shooting in 24.5 minutes. With him on court, the team were plus 20. Minus 17 in the 15 minutes he didn't play yesterday. As for Yuma Fuji, 19 points, shooting the lights out early on before finishing 4 of 8 from downtown. 4 assists as well, but with 3 turnovers, he had a plus-minus of +5 in his 26.5 minutes. You take your hat off to Trey Jones of GUNMA Crane Thunders as well. 23 points to lead all scorers in the game, 7 rebounds, 8 fouls drawn, a plus-minus of +10 in 29 minutes, but his team losing by 3. With the 4,500 here yesterday. It's a big crowd again, and they're ready for the big introduction of their team.
And now, the starting lineup for your NEOPHOENIX. Number 1,
Yanti Mason limited only 10 points, 3 rebounds. Yesterday averages a team second best 15.1 points and a team high 7.8 boards. He managed foul trouble. Hiro Takayoshi had 9 points yesterday, a plus-minus of +7 in 30 minutes. Jordan Kuczynski, 11 points, 5 rebounds in 30 minutes of action as well. He's averaging team third best at 12.1 points and 6 rebounds. Ryusei Sasaki we've talked about. And Shinsuke Kashiwagi starts again, as he did yesterday, the 43-year-old. Although he only played 6.5 minutes yesterday, in which he picked up 3 fouls. So once more, as was the case in Game 1, both teams have a 43-year-old in their starting 5s today. Sushi Ono, the head coach of the NEOPHOENIX. His 3rd year on the bench, previously 6 years on the Chiba Jets bench, reaching 3 finals and winning a championship. They moved to a NEOPHOENIX side that had finished dead last the previous season and is building them towards the top. Introduced to the players, now the officials for Game 2 of this B.LEAGUE quarterfinal series. Players making their way out onto the floor as we see those starting lineups again. Be a big impact off the bench from certain stars as well. One more so than Johannes Thiemann of the Thunders, and his ability to play longer than the 18 minutes he got yesterday due to foul trouble could be a dynamic shifter for the guests in trying to tie this series. As for the home team, Kazuma Tsuya off the bench yesterday had 9 points on 3 of 5 3-point shooting. Shout for him. He's a sniper and an X-factor. On the line here at the Hamamatsu Arena this evening, history for both teams and a season's work for one. If the NEOPHOENIX can replicate yesterday's victory They will make their first ever B.LEAGUE semi-finals while ending the campaign of Kyle Milling's Thunders. If GUNMA can regroup and rally for a win, it'll be their first ever playoff victory in the B1, forcing an all-or-nothing Game 3 tomorrow to decide who meets Ryukyu Golden Kings in the Final Four. I'm Tim Long, a pleasure having your company for these B.LEAGUE playoffs. Game 2 underway. After getting to the ball first off the opening tip, a turnover after 4 seconds on Kashiwagi and the NEOPHOENIX. You can hear the voices of some travelling fans in support of GUNMA here as well. It's not a short trip. 5 to 6 hour drive down from GUNMA in central Japan to the southeast coast here in Hamamatsu. Away team on the attack first. Bounce pass to the elbow, knocked down by Tarzuski. Yesterday he was 5 of 7 from the field for 10 points, but only had 4 rebounds, 1 offensive rebound. He averages 7.3 boards and 2.5 offensive rebounds through the season. Pass inside, Dudzinski scoring. And he cancels. Tarzuski struggled with foul trouble, as did a number of key players. Tarzuski finishing with 4 fouls, but in and out of the game due to that. And had the worst plus-minus of all players at -20. Players previously played 5 years in the EuroLeague with Milan, and an outside shot from Trey Jones, who remains right at it in Game 2. 3 of 5 on the outside yesterday, as well as 6 of 9 on the interior for his game-high 23 points. And a turnover on the home team as well. So GUNMA get the ball back and a chance for a 2-possession lead. Now Yanti Mayton called for the offensive foul. He was one of those players limited by foul trouble yesterday. David Nwaba, fellow frontline star of the NEOPHOENIX, managed his position better. Mayton was frustrated and limited in more ways than one. Jones pops out to the corner, off balance and off the floor, and a turnover on the Thunders. Now, David Nwaba did foul out yesterday, but with team highs of 17 points, 10 rebounds and 5 offensive rebounds, 4 assists and 2 steals as well. He really was a superstar in the victory. Yanti Mayton struggled, however, having said that, he did remain on the court for the finish and played some excellent defense to help them close it on that final Thunders possession that would have sent it to overtime had they knocked down a 3. Ryusei Sasaki knocks down the first 3 for the home team today and ties us at 5. He was 4 of 7 from downtown in Game 1. Just at the peak of his powers yesterday, Sasaki. Talk about this being a tight game, with the home team edging it by a matter of millimeters in the end. When Sasaki was on the floor, they were the best team by 20 points. Yamamoto coming in, the 22-year-old for the hosts. Jones going to work again. Oh, fancy footwork after the off-ball action, delightfully done on the underarm harm delivered by Naoto Tsuji. Tsuji only had 1 field goal made yesterday on 7 attempts. What a strong take to the cup by Sasaki. 5 in a flash for him. What's the call here? May have been a technical for protesting a no call on that basket. Indeed, confirmation of technical on the bench. Perhaps on the coach, Atushi Ono. The player, Ryusei Sasaki, was protesting his case as well. They were adamant he was fouled on that basket. And they should have had an and one opportunity. So Tsuji at the line. 3 points quickly for him after he only scored 5 in the whole game yesterday on 1 of 7 shooting. So he did have 5 assists, 2 steals and just 1 turnover. And a joint team high plus-minus of +10 through his 27 minutes. His shots don't always tell the story. Fuji. So foul called on Yoshi. So a couple of fouls in the first 2.5 minutes on the home team. Jones. Parker, the 43-year-old. Jones again. Tarzuki wasn't expecting it. Fumbled it back towards Jones, who takes it at Maton, who forces the miss. Out of bounds. Well, there's only 1 on the shot clock. It's an inbound for the Thunders. Top of your picture, you can see the 5's on the floor right now. Tarzuki off to Jones. There wasn't time. A shot clock violation. I'm not sure Tarzuki was aware. 2 meters 12 center is not a player to put up a 3-point shot, but he had to in that situation. Second turnover on the away team, who lead by 1. He gets free again. Short Sasaki this time. Offensive rebound and a foul before it came back to him, free on the perimeter. The 22-year-old 180 point guard Nemoto with the offensive rebound. Well, I mentioned in the pre-game that NEOPHOENIX yesterday took more 3-point shots than 2-point shots, made more 3-point shots than 2-point shots. It was a key factor in the win. Well, Jones trying to intervene. Got there a couple of times, found a pass, 3-3. Off right from Tsuji, who is the 3rd most accurate 3-point shooter in the league. Maton almost had his pocket picked by Parker. Free spot on the wing, back to Maton. He's going to pull the trigger this time, short. Plenty of threes again. Sasaki threatened one more, instead feathered it inside to Maton, who spins towards the baseline over everything. They'll go again, shot clock still ticking, didn't hit the rim. Offensive rebound again, Dudzinski. And they'll get another go on the baseline. How many goes have they had here? Tushi Ono's team dominating the offensive glass again. We talked about them doing that in game 1. Another key factor in the win, but what a hustle play from Parker. Ensuring it'll take another wave of red offense. So Kaura coming into the game. Had a tough time yesterday. And we see David Nwaba, who starred en route to the win, come in as well. Up fake, side skip, 3-point shot. Again, you can't give them that many opportunities. Hirotaka Yoshi, a 37% 3-point shooter, puts the home team back ahead. And there's another turnover. On an offensive foul from Tarzuki. 3 turnovers already. And we're seeing the same problems rear their head for the Thunders. Struggling in those 2 main possession count categories, the turnovers and offensive rebounds. 3 turnovers for them, and they've allowed their hosts 5 offensive rebounds in just over 3.5 minutes. That is why Kyle Milling's team lost the game yesterday, despite shooting fantastic numbers from the field. Ball going through multiple hands, and Wauber, Maton, Aura. Looking to dizzy the defense, and Aura in the end, in a pack, got it to go off the glass. So to Aura, only 2 of 8 from the field yesterday. That was a confident take, kick to the corner, 3-point shot short, offensive rebound for Thiemann, who's come in. He draws contact, 3rd foul on the home team. Thiemann's just come in a few seconds ago. He can be a commanding presence, particularly in the paint for the Thunders, but also able to stretch the floor. Another former EuroLeague player. Jones. Shot clock at 7, and it goes to Thiemann. Turns to face the defense, puts it on the floor, into the paint, determined to go one-on-one. Defense not budging. Tremendous defense from Wauber. Or Maton, I believe it was. Now Wauber down the floor. Saved on the baseline, a scramble for possession. Now they're short-handed. So 3-on-2 in transition, make it 4-on-2 as the cavalry arrives and finishes through the hands of Hachimura. Midway point of the first. The home team by 2. It's going to be the 3rd foul on the Thunders. Tsuji getting a whack to the face, but also a foul. He's trying to sell that one. Have they called it on Wauber? I think perhaps they have, indeed. So not a 3rd foul on the Thunders. They call it on the home team. But now it's a 4, so no more fouls to give the rest of the quarter. Thankfully for them, they've spread those 4 fouls around. But any further defensive fouls from there will send Thunders to the line for the rest of the first period. Tsuji, the 3-point shooter. Gets the switch onto Wauber. Gets it back from Thiemann. Well, they didn't make that connection efficiently at all. And they're not playing efficient offense right now. It will be their 4th turnover. Although the home team have had 4 as well. It's been a sloppy first 5.5 minutes. You won't be happy with that. 4 turnovers in 5.5 minutes for the home team, who yesterday through the whole game had only 9 turnovers. That was one of the keys to their win. And for the Thunders, that problem's getting worse. 4 early turnovers here after 13 yesterday. Foul on Thiemann, who struggled in that regard in game 1. Foul on Hosokawa. That'll be 4 on the away team, so any further defensive fouls the rest of the quarter for either team send the opposition offense to the foul line. It's tight and tense and tacky in the first 6 minutes after an all-guns blazing first quarter yesterday. It's an offensive foul on Maton. And Wauber protests the call. They can't believe it again. The 2nd offensive foul in quick succession that they're not happy about. I think you can understand why. Maton just feeling he was in his space, grabbing the ball with Tiemann riding his back. A real thrust out of the arms behind him. And not just a 5th turnover in 6 minutes, but a 2nd foul on Yanti Maton, who struggled with foul trouble the whole of the game yesterday. Also, they avoid a 2nd foul on Tiemann, the Thunders. So a huge call in their favor. And a huge shot in their favor from Trey Jones. Jones, the main man right now in this series for the Thunders, does it again. Riding turbulence down the right rail, spinning and scoring with the and-one. A super play to give them the lead back from Sota Ora. Heavy contact, plenty of pressure, bump and bucket. Tremendous use of the pivot foot. And all ready for Ora, as many field goals in this game as the whole of the game yesterday. He's 2 of 2 now for 4 points. Yesterday 2 of 8, en route to 6 points. Had a plus-minus of -17 yesterday, Ora. He's given his team a 2-point lead here. Jones. Defense offering plenty of room here for Flippin, who's not a good shooter. That's by design, but that was by brilliance. Flippin up off the window. Deep 3. In the early stages of the shot clock, an ill-advised shot, surely. Although Tsuya is capable. Tiemann taking it. Parker bumping back there, adamant it was a travel. Up against Williams, rather. Tiemann again up against Williams. And the footwork, the scoop and score as Trey Jones darts right through the defense. 8 points for him already. 3 of 5 from the field, Jones. The lead for the Thunders now. Surely not. Alley-oop score on a pass that almost hit the rafters. How high was that from Ora? And fouled on his flight path before finishing was Yanti Maton. David Nwaba, I beg your pardon. David Nwaba flying in for the finish. And that'll edge the hosts ahead. It's been touch tight again. What a contribution from Ora. Five points and a couple of assists in his 4 minutes. Jones, you can't leave him that kind of room. They get away with it. Offensive rebound, Hachimura couldn't convert on the putback. And this is going to be a fight right the way through to tonight. Bodies hitting the floor early on. 29-25 first quarter yesterday, 18-17 with 2 to play today. But those tallies might just creep up given the foul position. Second foul on Hosokawa, both teams at the limit, so straight to the line goes Sasaki. Neither team good from the free throw line yesterday. Thunder's awful. Had they not been, they might have got the win, only losing the game by 3, but missing 11 free throws. Saki making both for the hosts. 3 the lead for them. Tarzuski running interference, getting some room for Fuji. Tarzuski guarded by Dudzinski. Fuji. Touch tight defense. Fuji fires though, as he did time and time again early on yesterday. His first shot and he knocks it down under close scrutiny. Dudzinski plowing through the edge of the paint and earning a trip to the line. He puts another foul on Tarzuski, who didn't get to his spot in time. It's going to be 2 on Tarzuski. It's 2 in just 4 minutes of action for him. He's going to go to the bench. That's after playing 26.5 minutes yesterday, but having to manage foul trouble throughout. It could be even worse for him today. Off the back of that foul trouble, Michael Parker had to give his coach and his team 23.5 minutes, 24.5 minutes at the age of 43. Not just playing a long time at the end of a long career, but also having to do it on back-to-back days now, of course, in this series. They might have to do it on 3 straight days if the Thunders can force a Game 3 tomorrow. Tough challenge for the coaches as well to manage minutes and fatigue. Keep players focused, even they're going at it day after day. Timon misses after getting away from the defense. It's not so much his game to put the ball on the floor, but he should be finishing there. Final minute of the first approaching. 3-point shot far side, rings out. Dudzinski got to it ahead of Timon, but batted it back to the Thunders. Trap far side on Fuji and forces a jump ball. It's a great pincer movement trap. No way out. Tough position on the floor for Yuma Fuji. Parker. Timon. Guided by Dudzinski. That'll send Yuma Fuji to the line. Fuji an 84% free throw shooter. "19 points in 26 minutes yesterday. They shot just 52% from the line as a team in game 1. The fans are anxious for every foul shot point here tonight. And they're now 3 of 3. (22-22), final 40 seconds of the first. Sasaki. Sasaki again, he can pull the strings or pull the trigger. Gets inside, flips it out. 3-point shot, well short. It's way off the mark from Waba. Nominal differential, so they'll hold it if they can for the final shot of the first here. Thunders trying to get the lead at the end of 1. Again, it's a tough shot and an ill-advised shot with time remaining here for the NEOPHOENIX to push forward. Turn, pull the trigger, hit of the target from Waba, who punishes the bad shot choice of Yuma Fuji on the other side. David Nwaba from downtown at the buzzer at the end of one to give the NEOPHOENIX the lead. He was left with 6 or 7 seconds to do his thing, and he did it deadly and delightfully. The NEOPHOENIX produce a 25-point first quarter. Off the back of David Nwaba's buzzer-beating 3, and lead by that margin 25-22 over the GUNMA Crane Thunders here in Game 2 of this quarterfinal playoff series. How tight was that first 10 minutes? The hosts leading by only as many as 4, and the guests by only as many as 3. Trey Jones, superb again for the Thunders, 8 points in as many minutes on 3 of 6 shooting. 1 basket on the interior, 2 of 3 on the exterior. He's the top scorer in the game, but Yusei Sasaki has 7 points for the hosts, who've also got 6 from Nwaba and 5 from Ora. Both teams scoring again in the first period over their season averages for a quarter. And the NEOPHOENIX not slowing down, so too Sota Ora, who's now got 8 points to tie Trey Jones as the game's top scorer. More field goals for Ora already today than in the whole of the first game. Ora 3 of 3. And nails his first 3. And then a heat check shot and a turnover. 6 is our largest lead now. It's a foul on Dudzinski for holding back Fuji. First foul on him. Yanti Mayton still sitting on 2 fouls for the home team. Nobody else on 2. For the away team, Tarzuski on 2 fouls, as to Hosokawa. Referee short team and put it back up as he got fouled. We talked about him being able to stay on the floor a bit longer today and help them on the glass. And he does so there, Johannes Thiemann. First foul on Ora, but 2 in the first minute of the second for NEOPHOENIX as a team. First free throw miss for the Thunders from Johannes Thiemann after they'd hit their first 3. Yesterday they were 14 of 25 from the line, 56%. Those 11 missed free throws will be haunting them. And that's 2 in a row today. Manofa. And Nwaba. Backing in, going to kick out. Jones stuck to Ora. He's got the hot hand, passes out. And presses the wrong side of the rim, but an offensive rebound. Or again. Gets towards the line, puts it up. Back-to-back misses. Parker the rebound. The scoring for Aura has cooled down. Started with 3 straight makes, a couple of misses now. 3-point shots, looking to hard off the gap. Aura looking to run off the back of the rebounds. And a blocking foul on Fuji. First foul on the Thunders in the second. First foul on Fuji as well. Aura. Another wanted it in the corner, didn't get his way, and he's fouled by Parker. So 2 fouls on both teams. Yoshi getting fouled that time. Saw Parker leaving the ground. That was tough contact, landing on his foot. Thankfully, not the ankle. Although he's going to go to the bench, Hirodaki Yoshi. Key player for the host yesterday, playing 30 minutes. Aura. Oh, slipped in the fast feed. Fist into Dudzinski. Byron Wabber, who's now scoring and facilitating. The quickness of the pass here, the pace of the pass. As Parker went to pick a pocket, it just reached its target in time. With Parker having jumped that passing lane a little too slow, Dudzinski free to turn for the simple score. And points in appreciation, rightfully so, at his teammate. The one player on 2 fouls still in Yanti Maton, but it's not bothering the NEOPHOENIX right now. And Wabber thriving with extra responsibility. 6 points and that assist for him. And this is the largest lead of the game at 8 points. It was a single-digit game yesterday, right the way until the last 2 minutes. 9 had been the largest lead for the home team. And then a 10-point lead with 1 minute and 50 seconds left, and we thought that was that. And then the Thunders finished on a 13-3 run over those last 110 seconds, but missed the final shot that would have sent it to overtime. Tiemann turning, twisting, tormenting, and taking the score. Johannes Tiemann. And Wabber drawing a crowd back out, or back in at lightning fast speed. Having a game, Sota Aura. That's 10 points in around 7 minutes for him. 8 the lead again. Fuji into the lane, looking around, turns it over, got caught almost between 2 minds. Fuji not on the same wavelength as his teammate. Both teams with 7 turnovers now. It's a sloppy pass from Fuji. His magic's been doused out. 5 points, 1 of 3 shooting from the field, 3 turnovers now. Waggy, 43 years young. Back in the ball game, having played the first 2 minutes. Quick hands on defense from Flippin. Dudzinski pops it in over the top of his opponent to give them the first double-digit lead of the game. Taken 13.5 minutes today, after it took 38 minutes yesterday. They're down in a hole, the Thunders here, but we know they can put together a run. Tiemann takes it at Dudzinski. What a finish from Johannes Tiemann, waving his wand. He got room against Dudzinski, got under Dudzinski's arm to finish on the reverse with the overhead scoop, glass and score. He puts a second foul on Dudzinski in the process and a third team foul on the NEOPHOENIX. It's a huge play from Johannes Tiemann to get his team very much back into contention. Said he was limited to 18 minutes yesterday. He's already played more than 10 minutes today, but he's 0 of 3 at the foul line. Ora. So much going through him now with Sasaki on the bench. Nathan back on the floor on his 2 fouls. Ora again kicks it out to an open shooter. A foul on Maton, I believe, which will be his 3rd. Antti Maton has played only 6 minutes. He picks up his 3rd foul. I thought yesterday was a bad game for him. This is the elbow to the face of Tiemann, trying to box for the rebound. Also a 4th foul on the team. So they've reached that point even earlier in the second. They reached 4 fouls around the midway point of the first. So having a 10-point lead, the Thunders now have big hope of a comeback. Flippin. Jones. Tiemann. We've been working with Tiemann. That's some breathing room. Tiemann up against Nwaba. Flippin, not a great shooter. Short on the top 2, but an offensive rebound. They get a better look here from the corner, and it's put in by Tsuji. The 3-point sniper. That 10-point lead halved in less than a minute. Nwaba. Sasaki back in, and back in business straight away. 10 points for Ryusei Sasaki. Tiemann, we said he could stretch the floor. He's short that time, front and back iron. Sasaki giving them an 8-point lead, now gets it back. Same spot, chose to put it on the floor. Dudzinski will take the 3 instead. He's another great shooter, but net ball off left. Yeah, just grazed the rim. Plenty of time left here. Dudzinski set in the high screen. Now 4 on the shot clock. Sasaki, enough time for him to work his magic as he gets his geometry spot on. State Sasaki the sorcerer. 5 in a flash and 12 for the game. And the NEOPHOENIX have their double-digit lead back with 4 minutes and 20 to play in the first half. A 3 and then the magical 2 from Sasaki. Now 4 of 7 from the field for 12 points in less than 7 minutes on court. Well, they halved that 10-point deficit to 5. 3 from the third most accurate shooter in the league, Naoto Tsuji. Sasaki has almost single-handedly restored their 10-point advantage now, forcing another timeout on the GUNMA Crane Thunders. Tsuji there for the Thunders. 1 of 7 from the field in game 1. Having shot 44% from 3 through the season. He's got 6 points and 2 of 3 shooting in this game. After they cut that 10-point lead to 5, they also got a third foul on one of the NEOPHOENIX's star players, Yanti Mayton. They got into the bonus, and it looked like the pendulum was swinging the Thunder's way, but Yusei Sasaki pulling it back towards the hosts. And we're going to look at the basket here. Tough contorted shot, grabs his own rebound. Ko flipping. Teeman 3-point shot. He's missed a couple now. And Wabber will take it right into the lane on the physicality mismatch and says, "You are too small to guard me." Naoto Tsuji. 12, the largest lead. Now Jones adamant he was fouled on that shot. And Wabber at pace down the floor again, dishes off and banked in for a 14-point lead by Hiro Takayoshi. And Kyle Melling's crew cannot catch a break. They finished bottom, and that is when Atsushi Ono took over. 23 wins the next season, missed out on the playoffs, but doubled that to 46 wins last season. He ended a 6-year wait for the playoffs for this club, and then even better this season, 47 wins. And that from only 59 games. They played a game less in the regular season after having one of their games cancelled. Otherwise, they might have got one more win and been the top-seeded team for these playoffs. Champions of the Central Division 2 seasons in a row. They were swept, though, at this stage last season on their playoff return by a 7th seed underdog, determined to ensure that does not happen again this time around as they look to make their first ever semi-finals. Improvement year on year. Quick transition offense again, stripped though. How crucial was that defensive play from Jones? They've already got a mountain to climb here in game 2. Flipping out to Fuji. How badly they need the 3. They don't get it. And Wabber's everywhere right now. Not just showing his quality on offense, but his mentality on defense. He sprinted to try and interfere with the shot from the corner of Fuji. And quickly changed directions to try and battle for the loose ball. They're going to have to keep working on defense. They've got their tails up right now, the NEOPHOENIX. Tiemann. Bit of footwork on Budzinski, but he was blocked off from the other side, made the scoop shot difficult for the big man. And how quick a gain down the floor of the hosts. A foul to stop the fast break. Foul on Flippin. And this combination of players is just not working for the Thunders. Second foul on Flippin, that might change the combination. Still got Tarzuski on the bench on 2 fouls. Also Kawa, who played 21 minutes yesterday on the bench on 2 fouls. Tarzuski right on cue, comes back in now. Michael Parker on the bench. Sasaki gets the switch. Short on the shot, Sasaki. Flipping down the floor, had to be perfect, and it was. Into Hachimura, the quarterback pass to the end zone, the touchdown when his team needed it. Ko Flippin down the floor with pinpoint precision in behind. Hachimura, the captain. Didn't win promotion to the top tier until 2021. Now they're playing their first ever playoff series at this level, having improved each of their 4 seasons in the top flight. Carl Milling taking over this season, giving them 8 extra wins in that first ever playoff appearance. The man who took underdogs Hiroshima Dragonflies to the championship last season as the 7th seed. Looking to mastermind a few more upsets with another 7th seed team this season. But this one's going to have to be a huge turnaround, losing the first game yesterday, down 14 in game 2 today. This do or die game for them. They've closed the gap to 12 points on that score from Hachimura. Three-point shot is good. Sweet string music to the ears of this NEOPHOENIX crowd. Tarzuski knocked away and a foul. Foul on Williams. The three-point shot giving them the largest lead of the game at 15. Tarzuski at the line. Three-point shot coming from Kazuma Tsuya, a 40% three-point shooter through the season, 3 of 5 yesterday. Tarzuski splitting his pairs for a 14-point game. A minute and a half to play in the first half. Entry pass, Williams, little composure in the paint, trying to avoid shot blockers, but not thinking enough about his feet as he travels and turns it over. Okay, being composed in the mind. The up fakes and the hesitation. Got to be composed with the lower part of your body as well. And to think as well that the home team have done this despite reaching 4 fouls after only 4 minutes of this quarter. Tarzuski looking to print a playoff poster. That was a good foul from Nico Williams, ensuring Tarzuski didn't complete his flight. Said he was grounded, and he'll be made to earn them from the line. Second foul on Williams. They don't mind that. They don't mind Tarzuski at the line either. He's a good free throw shooter for a big man, but he split his last pair a few moments ago. And he misses again. Confirmation it was a good foul. Actually shot 76% from the line through the regular season. That's excellent for a 2 meters 12 center. But once more, the Thunders are having a tough time at the stripe here today, even worse than yesterday, in fact. 4 of 10. Straight to the goal goes Nwaba. So the Thunders, who missed 11 free throws yesterday, started 3 of 3 today. They've now hit just 1 of their last 7. Tiemann going 0 of 3 and Tarzuski 1 of 4. Tiemann's a decent free throw shooter as well, 70% through the season. So these are not players you'd expect to be missing that many. In contrast, the NEOPHOENIX perfect. Now 8 of 8. Nwaba up to double figures. 10 points for him, 10 points for Ora, 12 for Sasaki. 3 double-digit scorers in the first half. A big first half at both ends for the NEOPHOENIX, up by 16. Big on offense and defense here, the hosts. Bounce pass to the corner, free, 3, off. Offensive rebound. They'll go again. All they can do with a score and a stop here. Back iron on that attempt. Jones wants to travel. Instead, almost a full shot clock. However, there is a full shot clock and only a few seconds to spare here for the host. They'll go quickly and put another foul on Tarzuski. Burst to the basket from Yoshi. They're saying there was shot interference. The foul is not on Tarzuski, it's on Hachimura. The second on him, Tarzuski remains on 2. And again, the NEOPHOENIX are doing this with Yanti Maton, their second top scorer and leading rebounder, an offensive rebounder and shot blocker through the season, hardly playing. He's played just 6 minutes in this game, in which he's gone 0 of 2 from the field. Had 2 assists but with 2 turnovers and committed 3 fouls, hence his low playing time. 10 of 10. Thanks to the number 10 and a near perfect first half as the San and NEOPHOENIX fire 50. 18 now the largest lead. Can the Thunders put a silver lining on this otherwise dark cloud of a half? No, they can't. Well, maybe still they can. In the corner, I don't think it was away in time. It didn't go down for Tsuji anyway. And that'll do it for the second period. And what a quarter, 25-10 in favour of the host to pull away. Can Kyle Milling help his team pull it back from the brink in this series now? They trail 50-32 at the main break. Atsushi Ono's side up by 18. And if they win here in game 2, they go to their first ever semi-finals. Consistent offense at 25 in each period. And the defense showing up in the second. And perhaps an insurmountable deficit. We'll find out in a few minutes' time in the second half.
1グループ B リーグクォーターファイナル2024-25留学生活プレゼンツサンエン FX ホームゲームサンエン FX 対群馬クレイサンダーズゲーム2さあ本日のハーフタイムショーまずはですねスペシャルゲストレゲエシンガーのレイサーパフォーマンスをお楽しみください。
帰ってきましたレガシガロです。ちょっとまず喋っていいですか。とりあえずむちゃくちゃ楽しい。前も言わせてもらったんですけど、正直僕バスケットあんま見ないです。さっき言っときます。知識はスラムダンクぐらいで止まってます。なのでこうやって生で見ることめったにないんですが、ネオフェニックスのブースターの皆さんむちゃむちゃ元気やし、裏方の方たちも親切にしていただいてむちゃくちゃバスケット楽しんでます。バスケット好きですか。群馬の方たちもちょっと楽しみましょう。とりあえずは俺の歌も音楽として聴いていただけたらと思います。でですね、僕がこうやって呼ばれるようになった理由が大野ヘッドコーチが今流れてる「やってもないのに」という曲が大好きと言っていただいて、なんかいろいろなつながりがあって今回呼ばせてもらいました。呼んでいただきました。で今日もやってもないのに今から歌うんですが、皆様にもちょっと一緒に協力していただきたいです。ネオフェニックスが勝利をつかめるようにちょっと協力していただいていいですか。皆さんありがとうございます。この曲やってもないのにできやしないとか言いたくないからやるしかないよって言うんですけど、そこのやるしかないよをみんなで言ってもらっていいですかね。協力してもらえますか。今日勝てんじゃん、このままいったら勝てんじゃんでもまあ気抜いたダンスで選手たちはもちろんそうやし監督もそうやと思うんで、俺らも気引き締めて応援しますよということで、ちょっとお付き合いお願いします。じゃあちょっと音頭からお願いします。協力お願いします。 フェニックスが勝ったら僕もう一回出てこれるんですよ。勝っておめでとう。だからこの曲3番まであるんですけど、今2番で終わったんですよ。3番も歌いたいんですよ。ネオフェニックス勝ってね、で次に進む時も俺もそこで「ああおめでとうございます」ってみんなで言いたいんで。ただやっぱスポーツ僕も夜見ますけど、気抜いたらあかんと思うんですよ。みんな選手をしたけどブースターのみんなも気抜かずに全力で応援しましょうね。僕もステージに立つ人間としてお客さんファンの声ってほんまに励みになるんで、みんなで今日の勝利つかむぞ。じゃあ勝利した後の3回目また俺出てくるんで、みんなで応援しましょう。ありがとうございました。勝ってくれ頑張れ大野さん、みんな応援しましょう。ありがとうございます。ありがとうございます。
はい、レイさんありがとうございました。ぜひね、レイさんの3度目登場できるように皆さん応援よろしくお願いします。さあ、ここからは有楽製菓プレゼンツザクザクタイムにチャンピオンシップのお時間です。昨シーズンね、行われましたこの企画、チャンピオンシップを帰ってまいりました。これから特にアピールしてくれるところに、ファイブマンズがオリジナルブラックサンダーやグッズの取り組みを行います。計3本行いますので、ザクザクアピールして豪華景品をゲットしましょう。さあ皆さん見るだけですよ。しっかりとアピールしていこう。まずはファイナル選手でクラブセット。皆さん目の前でファイナルにしっかりとアピールするんですよ。さあまずは手拍子一緒に今ファイナルを皆さんのアピールにどこまでいくかチェックしてますよ。今回はですね、計3弾を行われるんです。どうかしますね、皆さん楽しみにしてくださいね。さあまずは第1弾、ビアータオル、こちらをプレゼントします。さあ目の前にいるファイナルでしっかりやっている。これにいくらかけるけどなんとさあまだありますよ。それでは大野側どこにからいかにからいかにからおーナイスシュート。さあ続いて第2弾第2弾はオリジナルハンドタオルです。さあ皆さん目の前にいるファイナルでしっかりとアピールしてね。1回戦の皆さんももちろんもらいますよ。さあどこに行くからしっかりとねアピールしてもはい手にした方おめでとうございます。さあまだねファイナル持ってるからねしっかりと皆さんアピールしてください。今会場がねいろんなところ移動してますからね。はい、いい感じからもうおめでとう。はい、さあいよいよ第3弾はオリジナルブラックサンダー。こちらをですねカラーボードを投げ込みます。受け取った方は1回アリーじゃない有楽製菓特設ブースにお越しください。さあどこに投げ込むかな。ファイアマンでまずは1回席、そして今度はどこにおーっと手前でしたけどね、1回席までおめでとうございます。はい、グッドポジションからもおめでとうございます。さあまだありますよ。はい、ということでね、ガラポードゲームですが、1回アミナがやります有楽製菓特設ブースでオリジナルブラックサンダーを受けてください。 以上、留学生がプレゼンツザクザクタイムインチャンピオンシップでした。どうぞご覧いただきありがとうございました。
Welcome back to the Hamamatsu Arena in Hamamatsu. As we take a look at the highlights of the first 20 minutes, a close first quarter, high scoring for both teams, 25-22, edged by the host NEOPHOENIX. Trey Jones excellent with 8 early points, but in the second, all guns blazing, offense And dogged defense from the hosts to pull clear by as many as 18 points. The largest lead of the game here at half-time. Is there any way back for the Gunma Crane Thunders, not just in this game, but in this series now, knowing they have to win the second half by at least 18 points? They've really struggled with Tiemann at the line and Tarzuski going 1 of 7 of their last 4 trips to the stripe. 6 points they could do with getting back. And from the field, limited to 35%. Just 40% from 2, 28% from 3. Shooting it poorly in all categories. Not after being the more accurate shooting team from the field yesterday, when perhaps those missed free throws cost them the win. Now they're struggling in all departments, and their hosts are pulling them apart. The NEOPHOENIX, in contrast, shooting 54% from the field, 73% from 2, 37% on the perimeter where they've made 6 threes, and a perfect 10 of 10 at the foul line. In some ways, it's a flip of the script here in game 2, because yesterday the away team shot the ball better from the field, but it was the home team's dominance in the possession count categories, the turnovers and offensive rebounds, that got them as many as 13 extra field goal attempts in a game they won by just 1 shot. Today, however, they are shooting lights out at 73, 38, 100 shooting split for 50 first half points, whereas the Gunma Crane Thunders are actually winning the possession count categories. Only 6 turnovers for them after they had 4 in the first 4 minutes, so they've protected the ball well. The home team have committed 3 extra turnovers, and the away team have also grabbed 2 extra offensive rebounds at 9-7. That's something we don't see on that graphic. So you can see at the top there, 5 extra 2-point attempts, 3 extra field goal attempts altogether for the away team, the same number of free throw attempts, but yet they trail by 18 because their shooting has fallen off a cliff. If they match the hosts at the foul line, going 10 of 10, we'll be talking about a 12-point margin, and maybe the opportunity to get right back at it in the third quarter. Instead, it is a mountain to climb. The personification of the difference between the two teams. The key players we highlighted for you pre-game. Sasaki remains right at it, 12 points in 9.5 minutes for him. Fuji, who had 19 points yesterday, held to only 5 here today. Fuji 1 of 4 from the field. 5 points in 13 minutes. Sasaki 12 points, 4 of 8 from the field, including 2 threes from 6 attempts. 3 rebounds, an assist and 1 turnover. Here we go. At least they get possession to start the third quarter, down by 18. The Gunma Crane Thunders, they need to win this second half by a landslide to remain in the competition. Tarzuski playing on 3 fouls. I beg your pardon, 2 fouls. Maton on 3 for the hosts. Tarzuski, intense defensive pressure straight away. Sasaki all over the shooter, passed on, floater, off back iron. Look at the defense to start the second half, and the pace and intensity and energy on offense as well. coast to coast, blink and you'll miss it from Nwaba. They've picked up right where they left off, picking up pace and picking up points and stops. And continuing to increase this largest lead. That time the defensive pressure leads to a foul. But they are all over their guests like a rash. Shiwagi, the 43-year-old, doing his bit. Played 4.5 minutes of this one after 6.5 minutes yesterday, starting both games. Parker, the other 43-year-old, here's alley-oop pass picked off, and here goes Nwaba again. 14 for Nwaba. Back-to-back scores off the back of defensive stops. And surely the Thunder's race is run in their first ever playoff series, down 22 with 19 minutes to play. We're talking about the realm of legend here, if the Thunders are to remain in this playoff series now. It would have to be one of the greatest comebacks of all time here in the B-League. Can they even get a score? That's the first challenge. Three-point shot, nothing going down. They get a decent look at the rim for their best three-point shooter. Parker, handoff, here he is again. Suji, this time puts it up from the foul line. And go to the strike for two. They're only 4 of 15 from 3 now, after he missed that previous one. Having shot 10 threes at 47% yesterday. The feeling to me is that they've missed their chance. Missed their chance in this series with how close they got in game 1 yesterday. Well, Melling only pondering how they can get back into game 2 today, but it would take something truly special. And they have to hit their free throws. They've made just 1 of their last 7 before that one from Suji. After starting the game making each of their first 3. Suji makes a pair. Six of 12 as a team now, up to 50% at the line. Backdoor cut off. 5 on the shot clock. Tarzuski guarding the perimeter. Entry pass, that means he's out of the paint. Height advantage, Dudzinski can't convert. So they get a couple of points from the stripe and a defensive stop, and they can build the offense off the back of it. The stop and the pop and the 3, and they refuse to roll over. Yuma Fuji fires from downtown, and from 22 down, they're within 17. Suffocating defense as well. On the shot clock again for the host. Looks inside Dudzinski this time. Gets his angle spot on. Over the top of Parker after missing the previous shot. Can GUNMA Crane Thunders build some kind of platform from which to push with a comeback? Parker. Oh, it goes down on the second roll around. How badly they needed that roll of the rim. 17 the deficit, 17 to play. Sasaki, Dudzinski, Parker's hustle on the defensive end. The 43-year-old who doesn't want his season to end, but he turns it over after all the hard work. So tough to take. back on defense at least. The post up, the mismatch, and the score. Hiro Takayoshi exploiting that transition defense. Again, is it an opportunity blown? They could have taken it down to 16, instead it's back, or rather down to 15, instead it's up to 19. After that turnover from Parker. The bomb from behind, that's a three-point shot. Yuma Fuji, who knocked down a three not too long ago, wiped out. The sneakers seem to be beyond the three-point line. Foul by Sasaki. A hard fall, and 3 foul shots to come. And now look at the foul count. We talked about the pressuring defense of the NEOPHOENIX. But only 3.5 minutes in, they commit their 4th foul of the quarter. Sasaki, I believe, his 3rd, if I'm not mistaken. That will put him on the bench. That in itself can be a game changer, because Sasaki, the best plus-minus player in the game yesterday, and a positive plus-minus today as well. They have one of the best shooters at this strike, 84% through the season, Yuma Fuji. 2 more to come to try and take it down to 16, with 16.5 to play. But he misses the middle one. They're not happy, feeling there was an infringement. And what they've also got here is their hosts in foul trouble already in this quarter, and they themselves haven't committed a single foul yet, so never say never. Double digits for Fuji, making 2 of 3. Ora gets it back. Suya. Nathan is fouled. He's back in the game. Anti-Maton having a tough series, but it's not harming his team so far. 2nd foul on Fuji. Maton getting into his position just about in time that time. With a couple of offensive fouls in the first half as part of his tally of 3 personal fouls that limited him to only 6 minutes of playing time before halftime. Couldn't quite grab the offensive rebound there. Tsuji, they could eat into this deficit even more so here. Tarzuski, the handoff, 3-point shot is good. And just like that, a 14-point game after they trailed by 22. 13 now for Fuji. Firing on all cylinders yesterday, misfiring in the first half today, back at it in the second half. It's a lame shot from Maton, ill-advised, and way off, and they seem to have lost their way, the NEOPHOENIX. Inside, back door, passed on, Parker puts it in. Where has this come from for GUNMA Crane Thunders? They trailed by 22 towards the start of this period. They're back within 12. A timeout for Atsushi Ono. And we're not even at the midway point of the period yet. They've got their hosts in foul trouble, and they've got a long way to go in this one. Fuji hitting a couple of threes and fouled on another as well. He's up to 13 points. He's been the spark, the catalyst for the comeback. It was a 22-point lead at 54-32. 50 seconds into this period. Less than 4 minutes later, 10 has been taken off that advantage. Midway point to the third now. Can they get a score off the back of the timeouts? Oh, beautiful pass, but Dudzinski blew it, and Parker blocked the second attempt. Dudzinski misses after all the hard work and the perfect out-of-timeout play. Couldn't get the layup to go. Maybe Tsuji disrupted the shot. Parker certainly did the next one. And he's been key coming back in as well, Parker. And especially with his hustle on the defensive end. There was a foul off the back of that as well. And already at the foul limit. And Sasaki picks up his third. I thought he got his third a little earlier. He gets his third now. They don't want missed free throws to haunt them again. When it looked like the door was slammed shut, locked and bolted, all of a sudden it's ajar. And it creeps open a little further as they get back within 11. 5 minutes, a long way to go in this period, playing at the foul limit as well for the NEOPHOENIX. Dudzinski far side. Up high, too high even for the tip. Now the anti-Maton. Another close proximity miss, another chance to launch the transition offense, another score in a single-digit game. Yuma Fuji has 15, and the majority of them coming in this quarter. 9 the gap from 22 down just 5 minutes ago. There's a foul on the defense here. Only the second team foul on the Thunders though. Foul on Parker. His second. They don't have anybody on 3 fouls yet. Maton on 3 for the hosts, as to Sasaki now and Kashiwagi. Got to love this sport, how quickly it can change. Rabbit into Maton, playing on those 3 fouls, bumping bodies and losing the ball. It looks like they've lost their heads, the hosts. Tsuji switches on to Maton, he's got the defense riding his back, passes on, Tarzuski couldn't convert the mid-ranger. The home fans can breathe a sigh of relief, but not for long. This is a 3-possession game. Maton screen, bounce pass, and a block! Coming from the blind side, Trey Jones on the help defense, passes on and Parker puts it in. And from 22 down in this quarter, somehow the Thunders are back within 7. Can the hosts weather the storm of the Thunders? Close to a turnover, 5 on the shot clock. The prayer from near centre court doesn't go. It does give them the chance for the fresh 14. The flash, the footwork, not the finish. They're not finishing anything right now. Parker, entry pass, Tarzuski backing in, recognize the mismatch and put it in. And it's a 5-point game. GUNMA Crane Thunders fans cannot believe what they're witnessing. Their team have risen from the dead. They almost did it in the final 2 minutes yesterday from 10 down. They're doing it in the third quarter today from 22 down. A run for the ages. And it's a 2-possession game. At 9 minutes 10 in this period, his team led 54-32 by 22 points. Less than 6.5 minutes later, it's a 5-point game. In those 6.5 minutes, they've scored just 4 points. Their hosts have put up 21. I beg your pardon, their guests have put up 21. By my calculations, it's a 21-4 run. The last 6 minutes and 23 seconds. Foul on the guests. Parker not happy, his third. You know, they didn't actually get their first score in that run. I'm talking about 9 minutes 10 being the last score for the hosts before that run. It wasn't until 8 minutes 34 that the Thunders got their first score, a three-pointer from Suji to spark that run, so the time is even less. Dudzinski doesn't get the roll. They do get the rebound, and Wabba loses the ball on his way through. How many turnovers and how many tough misses have they had in this period? Fist far side, three-point shot. That would have made it just a two-point game. Bodies hitting the floor, piling up as the pressure piles up on the Phoenix. So the 21-4 run actually coming in just under 6 minutes. They get a trip to the line to try to continue it, but Tarzuski misses. Hands clasped in prayer. Tarzuski just 1 of 5 now, and I mentioned in the first half a 76% shooter in the regular season. Moves to 2 of 6. Only 10 of 18 as a team. 8 missed free throws today after 11 missed free throws yesterday in the 3-point loss. They did 10 of 19 today, just 52% after 56% yesterday. Is it going to be the same story for them, the same disappointment for them? Or is it going to be one of the greatest comebacks in this competition's history? Three-point shot is good to alleviate the pressure on the NEOPHOENIX. And it had to be the captain. Sasaki back in foul trouble and hitting a three. 7 the gap, 1.5 minutes to play in the third. Fired in. Good hands, good conversion under pressure, Hachimura. A 5-point game. Final minute of the third approaching. Dudzinski puts it on the floor against Tiemann, shoulder to shoulder, taking it to the basket and getting the roll. Top pocket, Dudzinski. 12 for him. They're having to dig deep now, Sanen NEOPHOENIX, and show their character under all kinds of pressure. Trey Jones to Tiemann, didn't want to take the shot in retaliation against Dudzinski. Stumbling and fumbling, but saving at center court. Quick hands to pounce upon Jones. And here they come. The footwork, the finger roll, the finish. And David and Wabber is all pumped up as they relieve some more pressure. 9 the gap. Have they weathered the storm, or are they just in the eye of it? Top 3 wouldn't go for Fuji, who'd been on fire in this quarter. 15 points altogether in the game to lead the guests. Shot clock turned off. They can make it a double-digit lead to take it to the 4th. 2 to shoot foul. They have that 1 to give. So we'll have around 2.5 seconds remaining as Hachimura picks up his 3rd. And NEOPHOENIX will try and draw up a play to go into the final period up by double figures. They went into the 4th up by 9 yesterday. That was a good position to be in. If they went into the 4th up by 9 today, that would be a bad position to be in. Such is the different narrative of this very different game. If you're late joining us, they led by 22 points before the start of the Thunder's comeback around 8.5 minutes ago. Deep 3-point shot. That is a dagger. Sota Ora with a dagger to the hearts of the Thunders. The near centre court shot from Ora, bringing all kinds of aura tonight. It puts Sana NEOPHOENIX up by 12 with 10 to play as they survive an almighty attempt at a comeback for the ages from the Gunma Crane Thunders in the 3rd quarter. That one feels good. The 24-18 3rd period in favour of the guests in the end. They got as close as a couple of possessions, but fall down by 12 at the end of 3, 68-56. The home team led by 16 points from Mwaba, 7 rebounds, 3 assists for him. 15 now for the captain, Sasaki. 3 assists and just 1 turnover. He hit a big shot to help to repel the comeback late on in that quarter. 13 for Ora, who hit the biggest shot right at the buzzer from way downtown. 4 rebounds, 3 assists, 0 turnovers for him, and 12 points with 4 rebounds, 2 offensive rebounds for Dudzinski. They've also had 9 from Yoshi. The vast majority of the hosts scoring done by 5 players. The rest of the team only has 3 points from Tsuya. 12 is their lead, and they get the ball at the start of the 4th. Only 1 scorer in double figures for the guests. 15 points for Fuji, who lit up the majority of that 3rd quarter. We've got 9 from Jones, but 8 of those came early on. 8 points for Tsuji. And their defense does at least force a turnover on the first possession of the 4th. On the Phoenix, they get the free look for 3, and Trey Jones gets it to land to make it a single-digit margin again. Right on cue, he becomes their 2nd scorer to double figures. A 9-point gap with 9 minutes to play. Mwaba. Shot clock down to 5, and Mwaba will take it at Tima, moving away from the basket, but foul. Second foul on Tiemann. I guess have Hachimura and Parker on 3, nobody on more. The hosts have Maton on 3, Sasaki and Kashiwagi. Now the Phoenix are shooting 100% from the line. Now this is their first attempt of the second half. They were 10 of 10 at halftime. Different half, different outcome. The first missed free throw of the game. And a further illustration of how the tables have turned. Lots of fans for both teams here today, not just the hosts. You really have to admire the atmosphere and the passion of the fans in the stands, their ability and willingness to get here and to give it all for their teams, and the energy of both teams on the court. Speaking of energy, the firecracker finish for Jones that won't count. Second foul on Nwaba. He's now got 17 points, 7 rebounds, 3 assists, but also 5 turnovers. The hosts have committed 13 turnovers today after only 9 in the whole game yesterday. Oh, tough defense. Tough attack against Maton for the 178 guard Fuji. And Maton, even on the 3 fouls, was not budging. Fuji felt he had the mobility mismatch, Maton having none of it. The take everything rejection, sending the ball and the player over the baseline. His team have an injury concern, however, further towards centre court. Let's see how that transpired. Tiemann building a wall that was ran into. Understandable cause for concern. Tushi Ono on the bench and the teammates of Hirotaka Yoshi on the floor. And shaken up and winded, but that seems to be it. Well, they still have the ball here, Gunma Crane Thunders, but only 3 on the shot clock as they look to inbound from the baseline. Oh, nice off-ball movement, the pass, Tiemann not the finish. He's not been at it scoring the ball today. Corner 3, they look to upgrade, that one too long. Tiemann, they get it back again. Third time, lucky perhaps, yes! A 3 from Hosukawa, his first score. It's a 7-point game. Off the back of back-to-back offensive rebounds and a short shot clock on the inbound. The foul and the finish, that'll count. There's Yoshi. Shows he's not shaken up by that big Tiemann hit. Instead, he delivers a blow back. Foul on Hachimura is his 4th. He becomes the first player in the game to pick up a 4th. Will go to the bench. 2 fouls in the first 2 minutes on the Thunders as a team here in the 4th quarter. And a chance to restore a double-digit advantage with the and 1 for Hirotaka Yoshi at the line. He's now at double figures, becoming the 5th scorer to double digits for the hosts. Such a well-balanced offensive effort. But he misses the and 1. I think he might get a take 2 here. Indeed he will. 11 points for Yoshi, 5 scorers between 11 and 17 for NEOPHOENIX. 10 the lead with 8 to play. After an almighty 21-4 run over the course of around 6 minutes in the third quarter for the Thunders to keep their heads above water. Now the San and NEOPHOENIX looking to push them back down. Or at least holding them at arm's length. Right the way through, but the shot didn't have the legs on it. Trey Jones, speaking of legs, is down holding his left leg, injured over the baseline. His teammates have just realized that now. Jones at least back on his feet, seems to be the left knee. Now he's not happy there was no foul called against the defender. Oh, it's an awkward landing. Up against Dudzinski, jam that knee. Jones has been limited since the first quarter today. Had the game-high 23 points in defeat yesterday, 8 points in the first period today, just 4 since. But he's instead turned to facilitating with 8 assists and only 2 turnovers. He'll hobble off here with nearly 8 minutes to play, and you wonder if he'll return. Plenty to contemplate for Kyle Melling. Have his team left themselves too much to do? Too heavy for Maton. So a chance to make it a single-digit game again here for the Thunders. Fuji, their top scorer with 15. Their second top scorer yesterday with 19. Through the regular season, he only averaged 11.1. Getting a bigger role in this playoff series, this historic playoff series for the Gunma Crane Thunders, their first ever. It's a foul in the middle on Maton, or is it on Sasaki? Either way, it's their fourth. It's Sasaki who picks up his 4th foul. So the captain goes out dangling by a disciplinary thread. Their best player yesterday, one of their best players today, they're limited to 16.5 minutes by that foul trouble. 16.5 minutes in which he's got 15 points. Tiemann finishes on the reverse, and it's an 8-point margin. Tiemann, who before that was only 2 of 9 from the field and 0 of 3 from the line. More miscommunication on the offensive end, not for the first time in this second half. And while we're looking to move down the baseline, the pass went to the corner. Attack again, and what's the call? And it's a foul and a trip to the line to try and make it a 6-point game. Calm, hesitating, composed dribble from Fuji, who's putting his team on his shoulders in this second half. He's one of their free throw shooters who's been hitting the target, 4 of 5 so far. Make it 5 of 6. The team having shot only 10 of 19 to 52% before this trip to the line. They are back within 2 shots as Fuji hits 17 points. 6 of 7 from the line, 4 of 10 from the field, but 3 of 8 from downtown. 6 assists, 2 steals, and just 1 turnover. He has been a star. So too is this man, so to Aura. It's the 4th foul on the Thunders. We've played only 3 minutes and 8 seconds of this 4th quarter. See the grappling off ball. That puts them in a difficult position here. Look at coming back from what has been a 22-point deficit. Key to that in the third quarter was having the leeway in the foul count with their opponents in foul trouble. Helps them play their brand of defense, third best defense in the league. If they have fouls to give, they don't anymore. Aura, shot clock to 1. Is he aware? I'm not sure he was. Is there any time left on the clock? The officials will confer and we'll check the video, but if there is time left, it's not a lot. San and NEOPHOENIX have already committed more turnovers, 5 more turnovers today than they did in the whole game yesterday. Give the Thunders credit because I think the first 4 minutes or so they committed 4 turnovers. May have even been 5 in this game too today. They've only got 9 turnovers all game. So for pretty much 3 quarters of play now, they've only committed 4 or 5 turnovers. Put a second on the shot clock. It is time for a shot if they can create something. We'll have to dig into the history books to find out the biggest comebacks in this competition. Can't have been many from 22 down, certainly not in the playoffs. Certainly not on the road in the playoffs. That is what GUNMA Crane Thunders are aspiring to here in Game 2 to keep their season alive. Lobbed entry pass and a whistle against Tarzuski. Well, they don't want to shoot themselves in the foot. Only 1 second to shoot. Tarzuski holding on to Mayton gives them a trip to the line. You'd rather just stand off and at least see if Mayton hits the shot in what has been a tough series for him. 0 of 4 from the field, Mayton, in this game today. It's his first trip to the line. And he gets his first point. The player who's averaging 15.1 points per game coming into these playoffs, shooting a league second best 56% from the field. Only had 10 points yesterday on 4 of 10 shooting. He splits the pair. Tarzuski can breathe a little sigh of relief that it didn't cost his team too much. Does make it a 3-possession advantage with 6.5 to play. Hosokawa. Oh, he goes glass. Hosokawa. A couple of big shots in this comeback now. 5 the gap. Mayton looking to make up for lost time on the bench. Draws a foul again. Will go to the line again. I mentioned he's a league second best 56% from the field this season. He's also only a 56% free throw shooter. Team picks up his 3rd. Mayton, who's just split a pair, goes back there. Hachimura, the only player on 4 fouls. Before that one, Tarzuski, has he just picked up his 4th perhaps? Sasaki still sits on 4 fouls for the home team. Once Sasaki is on the floor in this series, NEOPHOENIX are quite simply better than the Thunders. But he's on the bench, in foul trouble now. How long do you wait to bring him back in? Fuji. Tiemann up against Dudzinski. Backing in, determined to post up. Help defense, finds a shooter. Wrong side of the rim. Save baseline. Delightfully done by Mayton. In transition, they look to spring. They've got to take the ball with them though. Great quick hands on defense and then a foul. That's the last to use for the NEOPHOENIX. So a chance to make it a one-possession game here with 5.5 minutes to play. Drama we did not expect when 1.5 minutes into the second half, the home team led by 22 points. At that point, they produced a 21-4 run over under 6 minutes. And now they're chipping away at what was a 12-point deficit at the start of this quarter. The fans of his team might have felt they've won this game twice already. Once when they went up by 22, around 1 minute into the second half, and once when they hit that dagger at the end of the third quarter, with Soto Ora taking the lead to 12 with 10 minutes to play. But this is a never-say-die Gunma Crane Thunders side. That underdog mentality instilled in a team again by their coach Kyle Milling, who did it en route to the championship with Hiroshima Dragonflies just last season as the 7th seed. They've got 4 fouls on Mayton, 4 fouls on Yoshi. Oh, beg your pardon, sorry. I was looking at the fouls drawn. 4 fouls on Sasaki, their key player, who once more is their best plus-minus player. They were plus 20 with him yesterday. They're plus 15 with him today. So they're dominant when their captain, guard and superstar is on the court. You say Sasaki, but he's off the court right now, dangling by that faint disciplinary thread, and that leaves this game and this series dangling in the balance. Tarzuski puts it in. It's a 3-point game. From 22 down, less than 15 minutes ago. Corner, 3-point shot. They get it again. Yoshi up to 15. Relieving that pressure valve as they did in a similar position in the third quarter. It doubles the advantage to 6. Final 5 to come. Is it the final 5 in the season for the Thunders? Tarzuski again. Back-to-back scores for him. Double digits for him. A 4-point margin. And Atsushi Ono is not happy about it on the NEOPHOENIX bench. Kyle Milling and his team believe. What a find from Yuma Fuji, who is turning it on. Look at this, over his head, over his shoulder. And this is far from over. 17 points, 7 assists, 2 steals and just 1 turnover for Fuji. Ichimura, you see his 4 fouls for the Thunders and then a bunch of players on 3. He won't be deterred by that. Alan Hachimura, who only averages 15 minutes a game through the season, only played 8 minutes yesterday. In contrast, the one player on 4 fouls for Sanen is a big one. Sasaki will come back onto the court now on those 4 fouls. 5 the limit here in the B-League. He's only played 17 minutes today because of the foul trouble, Sasaki. In those 17 minutes, the Tushiono side have won by 15 points. Just as they won by 20 points yesterday in the 24.5 minutes that Sasaki was on the floor. In the 15.5 minutes he was off the floor yesterday, they lost by 17. He's been off the court around 18 minutes today, and they've lost by 9 in that time. So Sasaki is the key. Second foul on Jones. Every shot, every possession, and especially every free throw is high pressured now. Unwaba, 69% free throw shooter through the season. Gets some help from the home rim and the home fans. A game high 18 points for him as he nudges himself ahead. Fuji is 5 of 6 from the line. Tag one more to that tally. Turnover is the only issue for him today. 6 the lead. It's an offensive foul on Teeman, and they'll turn it over. Had a tough time to do so. 4.5 minutes to play, down 6. Having limited those turnovers so well through the majority of the game since the first 5 minutes. That's their 10th turnover, 5 fewer than their hosts. But they've caught it on Jones, who's saying, was it me? And he can't believe it was. A head scratcher. His 3rd foul. Still only 1 role player on 4 fouls for the guests. Oh, free! The freedom of the paint to finish, and Weber, the first player to surpass 20. And he roars in celebration, letting out all of his frustration, all of that pent-up pressure. Ball for Nwaba on the last couple of possessions, a defensive stop in between. And the Phoenix feel perhaps once more they're closing in, but we've said that before. You know, it's been all eyes on Hamamatsu on this game too, because 2 of the quarterfinal series had already finished before we started game 2 of this one today. And the other game 2, the last game 2 to be played, has only just got underway between Utsunomiya Brex and Mikawa. This one has been well worthy of having all eyes on it, as was yesterday's game, but it had to share the attention with others. A technical called on the Thunders. That sees Sasaki move to 16 points and the lead to 9. Chiba Jets are through. They'll face the winner of Brex and Mikawa. These two teams fighting for a semi-final against Ryukyu. Final seconds of the shot clock. Tiemann spinning, getting the shot away, but under the hoop. Down on the deck, and the hosts are not hanging around, pushing the pace. And Waba, who always seems to do so, goes glass to avoid the chase-back attempt from Tiemann. 6 without reply from Waba. With the technical in between, but an 11-point lead, and Waba has 23. They're very nearly there. Very nearly in a first ever semi-final. Side skip 3, tight defense, miss, and Waba, here he goes again. Second game in a row in consecutive days, and still at pace and with power. And also intelligence, wise to slow it down that time on Waba. Open shooter in the corner to kill it as a contest. Tsuya gets the fans on their feet. And the Phoenix are flying into their first ever semi-final. $14 the lead late on. Surely the Thunders cannot rise from the dead again. Final nail in the coffin. Sasaki playing on 4 fouls, taking the attention, playing the pass, and Tsuya taking the spotlight. The NEOPHOENIX hit their 10th triple at 43% accuracy. Their two-point shooting at 64% today as well. Their free throw shooting at 80%, a super split as a team. $86 points gets them up towards their league best average of 90.8 a game through the regular season. They're doing it against the 3rd best defense in the league. They're up by 14 in the final 3 minutes. Poked away, and the Thunders look out on their feet. Long possessions will help take precious seconds away. Sasaki hit a big shot to help them close it late yesterday. Looking for one more today off left. Rebound Jones. In fact, it was Sasaki's 3 that put them up by 10 for the first time yesterday with 1 minute 50 to play. You thought that was the dagger. And then the Thunders came back and got within 1 shot of overtime. We're around about that stage again here as we move into the final 2 minutes. But instead of a 10-point deficit, a 14-point deficit. And surely no hope of the comeback for Gunma. Sasaki goes glass, misses again. Tarzuski. Not quick to get the ball out of the backcourt. Fuji will help in that regard. Just has to throw up a 3 and puts it in. Makes it an 11-point game, 94 seconds to play as Fuji hits 20, surpassing his 19 from yesterday. Super series for him. 8 assists, 2 steals, 1 turnover today as well. He's been exceptional. 4 of 10 three-point shooting now. But it looks like, as was the case yesterday, he will end up on the wrong side of the result. Tarzuski commits his 4th foul, which will send NEOPHOENIX to the line. And the Thunder's fans and coaching staff and players just praying for missed foul shots now. It's all they can do. And Wabe having none of it. With their other key player in the front line, Yanti Mayton, really struggling and suffering through this series. Going just 4 of 14 from the field across the 2 games. David Nwaba has gone beyond his season averages. 17 points, 10 rebounds, 5 offensive rebounds, 4 assists and 2 steals in game 1 yesterday. .23. More to come perhaps, technical on Coach Melling. Nwaba misses the tech. But 23 points, 8 rebounds, 4 assists and a steal today from Nwaba. 8 of 11 from the field, 6 of 7 at the foul line, 6 of 8 now. They say that lightning doesn't strike twice, and it hasn't for the Thunder, or for at least the Thunder's coach, Kyle Melling. They will go down swinging, but Kyle Melling, who led the 7th seed Hiroshima Dragonflies to the championship and beating the 2nd seed NEOPHOENIX in the quarterfinals last season, surely not able to do the same with the Thunders this season now. No trap, they'll hope for a turnover. If they can't get the turnover, they have to commit the foul. They can't even do that right now. They're chasing shadows, they're chasing a superstar. They're out on their feet, and they're almost out of the competition. 10 the gap. Now there's not even time for fouls. You don't want to foul with 2 seconds left on the shot clock. Not sure if they couldn't foul Sasaki because they couldn't catch him, or they didn't want to foul Sasaki. But again, you look at the plus minuses as we see the hit. Tarzuski getting into the path to the basket and wiping out Nwaba. Tarzuski's going to foul out here. He'll be the first to do so. It's been a tough series for him. But you look at the plus minuses again, and they're all, or the vast majority of them, fairly tight. Apart from Dudzinski and Sasaki. Sasaki, who's played 20.5 minutes, his team are plus 21 with him on the court. And having been plus 20 in his 24.5 minutes yesterday. I said he was the key. And the key for the key has been remaining on the court, because he's been on 4 fouls for a long time, but he'll stay out there to close it. You know, we may well have 4 sweeps in the B.LEAGUE quarterfinals. I'll have to go back and check if that's happened before. This will be 2 home sweeps with the NEOPHOENIX here and the Ryukyu Golden Kings previously, and then we've had the road sweep for Chiba Jets at Alvark Tokyo, and the top seeds through the whole of the regular season, Utsunomiya Brex, won their game 1 yesterday. They're narrowly ahead in their game 2 today at home. If they win that one, all 4 quarter-final series would be finished in 2 games. Not to say they haven't been competitive. These 2 games between these 2 teams certainly have, and they've been incredibly entertaining. Chasing shadows again. The hedge out, Dudzinski, the ball movement, the beautiful ball movement. Not quite the perfect finish, but a bit of hustle and a bit of extra energy to embellish and illustrate the way in which they've played this game too. Fueled perhaps by their home fans. Said they were out on their feet. You can see it visibly in the body language of the Thunder's players. And you have to admire the spread and the extra strength and depth as well with which the NEOPHOENIX have played through this series, and in particular here. They've had an 11-man rotation. 10 players playing at least 11 minutes. The Thunders have played with only 9 players. Jones playing 35+ minutes, Fuji playing around 33 minutes. In contrast for the host, 32 minutes for Nwaba, their longest, and 28 minutes for Yoshi. And I talked about the balanced offense as well. 5 scorers in double figures for the hosts as they hit 90. And that is pretty much their season scoring average. Doing it against a defense that through the regular season only conceded 71.6 points per game, 3rd best in the competition. And also doing it against a team that came in with better form than them. Yes, San and NEOPHOENIX, the higher seeded team with a much better record through the regular season, but they didn't finish the regular season well. Lost 5 of their last 8 games, in fact. GUNMA Crane Thunders won 5 of their last 6, including a couple on back-to-back nights over Utsunomiya Brex, the top-seeded team in the regular season. So Kyle Milling's side came here with real confidence off the back of that recent form and the recent history that their coach has produced in similar situations to this. Fueled by belief of another 7th seed run to the championship, as the Hiroshima Dragonflies did a year earlier, but it's not to be. This team have to wait for a first ever playoffs win in the top tier of the B-League. This is their first ever series. They're going to be swept 2-0. The timeout play. It makes it an 8-point margin, but this is too little too late now with only 15 to play. 3 previous meetings between these 2 this season, including yesterday, all decided by 1 or 2 possessions. This would be the biggest margin between the 2. They're going through the competitive motions to close it out, but you feel the final chance was when they couldn't foul, or wouldn't foul, Sasaki with around 50 seconds to play. They needed a miracle at that point. You know, they've scored above their season average in both games, the GUNMA Crane Thunders. They just haven't been able to replicate that regular season defense. They've improved every one of their seasons in the B.LEAGUE 1. They'll be left looking to try to do so again next season. Kyle Milling can add to what he's done this season, getting them into their first ever playoff series. But the NEOPHOENIX improving every season as well under Atsushi Ono. Last season made the playoffs for the first time after a 6-year absence since the inaugural season of this competition when they were ejected at the quarterfinals. Last season they suffered a shock on home court in being eliminated at the quarterfinals again, but this season they are going further than they've ever been before. They'll be the highest seeded team in the semi-final as well. The second seeded Sanan NEOPHOENIX up against the third seed Ryukyu Golden Kings. The Sanan NEOPHOENIX will play a first ever B.LEAGUE semi-final in their club's history. They'll do it in front of their fans here as well, as they set up a Final Four tie against Ryukyu Golden Kings. Atsushi Ono's team continue to move forward and jump the hurdle they fell at last season in similar situations to the ones they've been dealing with in the current campaign, ejecting a 7th seed and avoiding an upset, and doing it with back-to-back wins on home court despite a well-supported guest here at the Hamamatsu Arena. 93-84, the final score. A huge second half for Kyle Milling's team that wasn't enough after they fell down by as many as 22 points in the opening minute of the third quarter. Rallied back to get within one possession, including an almighty 21-4 run over less than 6 minutes in the third. But it was a mountain too steep to scale. They gave it all they had over the course of 2 games, pushing late on in game 1 as well to only lose by 1 shot in a matter of centimeters. You have to appreciate their efforts, and this crowd does, as their season ends here this evening. Yuma Fuji in particular going out firing, all guns blazing, as he led them in scoring and in assists with a super performance. For him, it was 22 points, 9 assists, 3 offensive rebounds, 2 steals, but ending up on the wrong side of the result. For the hosts, what an impressive team display, particularly on the offensive end, as they had 5 scorers in double figures, led by 26 in the end from David Mwaba, who took matters into his hands late on to increase rapidly his tally and drag his team over the finish line.
選手の頑張りと、コーチ陣の頑張りと、皆さんの声援のおかげで勝つことができました。ありがとうございました。
さあ、そして来週はセミファイナルです。セミファイナルに向けても一言お願いします。
はい、本当に皆さんの声援がまだまだ必要です。自分たちのことを後押ししてください。本日はありがとうございました。
ありがとうございました。大野敦ヘッドコーチにお話をお伺いしました。さあ続きまして山善プレゼンツフェニックスヒーロー賞の発表に行きたいと思います。こちらは本日特に印象に残った選手に贈られる賞となります。本日もですね、どの選手を選ぼうか非常に悩みました。でもその中からまずは1人目、2日間にわたって素晴らしいゲームをしてくれました24番佐々木隆星選手です。本日16得点5リバウンド4アシスト。さあまずは勝利おめでとうございます。
ありがとうございます。
今日のゲームを振り返って一言お願いします。
いや群馬さんめっちゃ強くて本当にめちゃくちゃタフでどれだけ離しても追いつかれるんじゃないかっていうぐらい本当に強かったです。本当に最大の敬意を払いたいと思います。
さあそして昨年はですね、クォーターファイナルで負けてしまいました。今シーズンはクォーターファイナルを勝ち上がってそしてセミファイナルに向かいます。今の気持ちを一言お願いします。
いや素直にほっとしているのと嬉しいです。はい。
さあ来週のセミファイナルに向けて一言お願いします。
はい、まだ僕たちの目標は CS 優勝なのであと4試合勝たないといけないので、そのためには本当に皆さんの声援が必要になります。まだまだ会場に来て応援よろしくお願いします。ありがとうございました。
ありがとうございました。24番佐々木隆星選手にお話を伺いました。さあ続いてはですね、勝負どころでのスリーポイント、そして体を張ったリバウンドディフェンスが輝きました。
And the coach talking about the hard work of his players and his staff,
10番
saying
吉
they
井
will
弘
need
中
the
選
energy
手
of the fans for the semi-final, their first ever semi-final. Words from the captain as well, Yusei Sasaki, who was excellent again despite the foul trouble. Hirotaka Yoshi hearing it from these fans as
さあ
well.
まずは勝利おめでとうございます。
ありがとうございます。
反対ですよ吉井選手。さあまずは今日の試合振り返って一言お願いします。
はい、昨日に引き続き、最初から、上からアグレッシブなディフェンス、動きのいいオフェンスできたのでよかったのかなと思います。
さあ今日もですね、ファンの皆さんの素晴らしい声援があったと思います。ファンに向けても一言お願いします。
はい、皆さんのおかげで今日めちゃくちゃフリースロー外れました。本当に皆さんのおかげです。それはまた来週も引き続きやっていただければ嬉しいです。よろしくお願いします。
ありがとうございました。10番吉井弘中選手にお話をお伺いしま
15
した。
points for him, so many excellent performances. 26 points, 8 rebounds, 4 assists from Wabba to lead the way, but 16 points, 5 rebounds, 4 assists for the captain Sasaki, 16 points for Yoshi, 14 each for Dudzitsky and Ora. 5 scorers in double figures between 14 and 26.
10番吉井弘中選手、そして24番佐々木隆星選手に大きな拍手をお送りください。さあそして本日の入場者数の発表となります。こちら速報値になります。本日の入場者数は
And Wabba the star,
4378名でした。
playing so well in both games.
さあそして皆さん
Yoshi emphasizing how good their defense was today, the aggressivity of the defense, as well as the support of their fans being the keys to the victory. The fans giving them the energy they needed to play that brand of defense as they win it by 9, their biggest win over the Thunders this season. They limit the Thunders to 45% from the field and 34% from 3. They also struggled, the Thunders, at the line for the second straight day, shooting just 57%. They lose the game despite getting to 84 points off the back of limiting turnovers and grabbing offensive rebounds for extra shots. 68 field goal attempts for the guests tonight. That was 11 more than the NEOPHOENIX, but the NEOPHOENIX get the 9-point win with superior shooting, 62% from 2 and 10 threes at 40%, as well as shooting 74% at the foul line. Close to 4,500 fans here for game one yesterday. It'll be similar today as they close out this series 2-0 to move into the final four. Many of them staying to show their appreciation to their players, but they'll be back here for game one of the semi-finals against the Ryukyu Golden Kings, looking to give their team the same kind of energy that they gave Atsushi Ono's men here today and yesterday. You know, this is a club that was founded all the way back in 1965, won 3 championships in previous versions of Japan's Top Flight. The last one a decade ago in 2015, but they've never been past the quarterfinal stage of the B.LEAGUE since it was launched in 2016.
We are
Hamamatsu heroes, including the 43-year-old Kashiwagi, who gave his team another 6 minutes here in game 2. And how good Aura was in the first half in particular, the number 5. He finished with 14 points in 19 minutes. 5 rebounds, 4 assists, 2 offensive rebounds as well. He was excellent. As we take a look at the story of game 2 here. A tight first quarter, a high-scoring first quarter. 25-22. Then came the defense of NEOPHOENIX in the second that broke the game open. A 25-10 second period to take an 18-point lead into half-time. That looked to be a steep hill to climb. It became, we felt, insurmountable after they scored a couple of baskets early on in the third quarter. 50 seconds into the second half, the lead stretched to 22 points, having had the 18-point halftime lead and then a score, stop and score to start the second half. But then came that 21-4 run for Kyle Milling's men. They closed the gap, got as close as 1 possession at one stage. The 21-4 run over the course of just under 6 minutes. Closing the gap to 5. Big shot from Mwaba on the turn at the end of one buzzer. And then they had a buzzer-beating dagger at the end of the third as well from near center court that took the advantage to 12 points ahead of the final 10 minutes. And for the second time, you thought that was going to be that, but give Gunma Crane Thunders plenty of credit. This is a team that does not know when to roll over. And they kept fighting until the finish. They won the third quarter 18-24. They won the fourth quarter even 25-28 as well. Their best offensive period of the series. But it wasn't enough. After that large halftime deficit, an even larger deficit 1 minute into the third quarter. So the guests with a 52-point second half. Win the second half by 9 points, or lose the game by 9 after that 18-point halftime deficit. Yuma Fuji surpassing 20 points, 9 assists as well. He lit the fire on the comeback in the third. Nothing was going down in that run for NEOPHOENIX, nothing at all. They looked like they'd lost their heads. The wind was in the sails of the Thunders. Give the host some credit as well for getting back in business. Parker at the age of 43, a key part of that comeback as well. Michael Parker, who in defeat played 17 minutes. But when it came to crunch time, the superstar stepped up, and Mwaba, as well as the contribution of his captain Sasaki. That was the dagger from the logo that put them up by 12 and seemed to have held off the fight back once and for all ahead of the fourth period. But there was still plenty of nerves as the Thunders mounted another attempt to make their way down the comeback trail with that 28-point fourth quarter. Now these fans' nerves jangling again. But Sasaki and Mwaba, the keys to repelling. Umpteen comeback attempts from Gunma. We finish with the 60-40-74 shooting split from 2-3 and from the free throw line, and Wamba with the 26 points. Their shooting efficiency personified, their character personified, as he helps them close out the win. There was that big basket I was talking about from Tsuya, one of just 2 shots to go in the game for him, but it helps to send them through to the semi-finals. 93-84 the score in game 2 after they win game 1 yesterday, 83-80. And Atsushi Ono's team win this series 2-0 to eliminate the Gunma Crane Thunders and set up a semi-final tie with Ryukyu Golden Kings. It'll be the second versus the third seeds from the regular season in that semi-finals matchup. One final look at the statistics from today. Superior shooting in all categories for San-En. They win the game despite shooting 7 fewer 2s and 4 fewer 3s. They do get 10 extra free throws. And again, after 11 missed free throws yesterday for the Thunders, 9 missed free throws today as they lose the game by 9. Not quite as damaging as it was in game 1, and you feel perhaps game 1 was their chance missed as they lost by 3, despite shooting only 56% with 11 missed free throws in that first game. We know 3 of our semi-final teams now. We're just waiting to find out the other one. We might find out in a couple of hours as we see that key player head-to-head. 22 points in defeat for Fuji. Only 4 of 12 from 3. But it wasn't just about the scoring for him. 9 assists, 3 steals, 1 turnover. 4 rebounds, 3 of which came on the NEOPHOENIX backboard. He was excellent, as was Sasaki, managing, along with his coach, the foul trouble that he got into early on. 21.5 minutes for him, 16 points, 3 of 8 from 3, 5 rebounds, 4 assists, 1 steal, just 1 turnover. And the best plus-minus of all players in the game for the second straight game at plus 20. Yoshi and Sasaki, 16 each behind the 26 of Nwaba, 14 each for Ora and Dudzinski, completing the 5 scorers in double figures. Tsuya's 6 points, the only other player to score for San-En. These fans delighted that their season continues. They'll be back here for game 1 of the semi-finals. They will host Ryukyu Golden Kings, who've swept Shimane Magic in the first completed quarterfinal series. There you see the Gunma scoring leaders. Fuji 22, Jones 12 was limited today. Tarzuski and team and the 2 bigs with 10 apiece. And I can tell you that in the final game of the quarterfinals, Utsunomiya Brex in the second period have a 9-point lead at home to Mikawa in that first versus 8th seed matchup as they look to close out the series after a winning game 1 yesterday. We'll see the leaders in the different categories before perhaps we get a look at the playoff bracket. We've talked about those numbers already. And Waba leading his team, dominating that graphic. But it was a team effort creatively. You see his 4 assists as the leader. They had 21 as a team, and they actually had 3 players with 4 assists. Sasaki, Nwaba, and Ora. So a team effort in that regard. A great spread in creativity and scoring, with the 5 scorers in double figures en route to their 93 points. And there you see, bottom right, San-En move on to a semi-final against Ryukyu Golden Kings. They'll have home court advantage for that series as the 2nd seed. Utsunomiya Brex closing in, perhaps on a 2-0 as well. That game around halfway through as they look to move to the semi-final against Chiba Jets with the home field advantage. Jets, the 5th seed, beating the 4th seed Tokyo. 2-0 in that series. Brex, the 1st seed, looking to go through to the semi-finals. Still a half of a game to go in that series and a chance for Mikawa to try and force a game 3. But at the moment it's looking like we have 4 2-0 sweeps from the quarterfinals. From me, Tim Long, a pleasure having your company for this one. We'll see you next time here in the B-League Championship.